This right here, it's ruining your life. Stop now. Hi, my name is Ben and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about why you don't need self-help. Now, maybe you're wondering, who is this person? Who is Ben and why is he remotely qualified to talk to me about why I don't need self-help? Well, I am an ex-self-help junkie turned confidence coach, and if you're thinking that that really doesn't mean anything, then you're absolutely right. It doesn't. More or less, because self-help is now for everyone, then anyone can say anything about it, and it's getting to a point where I feel that I have to say something about it. Because self-help really started off with the most noble of intentions, and it's just really gone off the rails in the last, well, probably the last few decades, where it's been overly commercialized and it just seems to be all about the money now. You see, I started getting into self-help at a really dark time in my life. I started reading self-help books when I was in a very desperate place, and you'll want to remember that because that is very much a theme throughout these videos I'm going to be making on why you don't need self-help, why certain concepts are leading you in the wrong way and what you can do instead. That's right, there are going to be more videos just like this with a slightly better production value each time as I figure out exactly how to make this type of content. But for me, my rock bottom was when I was dumped by my long-term girlfriend at the time, over text from a friend's phone. It was a rough day. So I did what any discerning and desperate young adult would do, and I read thousands upon thousands of pages of self-help books. I watched hundreds of hours of YouTube content and went to courses and seminars, and so much time was spent on it. The truth is, I was immersing myself in what was becoming my new religion. But as you've probably surmised from the content of this video and the cynicism in my voice, not much changed. I was still stressed, I was still anxious, I was still depressed, and I was still angry all the time. And it didn't matter how many self-help books I read or how many motivational videos I watched, how many inspirational speeches I listened to, nothing really changed. I felt great for a little bit and then that feeling faded. And so I'd have to go out and get the next thing. And then for a little while again I would feel great and then that feeling would fade and I would have to go and watch the next video or get the next course or go to the next seminar or buy the next book. And all this time I was wasting good money and time just throwing it into the pockets of anyone that I thought could help me. My life only really changed when I realised I actually didn't need self-help instead. In fact, all I really needed was just one simple thing, and that is what I'm going to share at the end of this video about how I was able to turn my life around without self-help. It's not an upsell into a course, it's not to get you into my marketing funnel. It is just the God's honest truth that I'm going to be sharing in this video with you today. But before I do that, I want to share with you exactly why you don't need self-help, and for that we're going to need to go back in time to where self-help all really began. Now, people will probably argue about the origins of the self-help movement. Some say it started with the New Thought movement. Other people say that it was more of a response to things like postmodernism, and both of those things I don't really know about, so I'm not going to go into them. But I believe that self-help really started with the original self-help book, which was also titled Self-Help, and it was by a guy called Samuel Smiles, and yes, that was his actual name. And this book was released in kind of about the mid-19th century, so we're talking, you know, we're well into the Industrial Revolution. Things are starting to change, capitalism is becoming an even bigger thing, and the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. Basically, it was a dry run for 2020. And along comes Samuel Smiles, and he releases this book called Self-Help, and it's all about how through being thrifty and just being smart and not making bad decisions that you can kind of pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. And this was a mega bestseller back in the day. Something like 20,000 copies were sold of the book in the first year, and that was a big deal back then. A very, very big deal. Now 20,000 sellers probably won't even get you onto the Amazon bestsellers list for a weekend. But nevertheless, for me, that's where it all began. And then we started to move into the 20th century. And we had books, I say we had books like I was there. Books started to come out, such as a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And you had Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, which, if you're unfamiliar with it, is a book all about how your thoughts can create your reality, and how if you use the right thoughts and affirmations, you can become rich. And people believe this because Napoleon Hill had supposedly used these techniques himself to become the person that he was today, and it definitely wasn't from scamming hundreds, maybe thousands of people and lying about his meeting with Andrew Carnegie. It depends on what you want to believe. Personally, I just think that Napoleon Hill was the very first of the guru scammers, or maybe he was just the first one to be really, really well known. I might make a video all about Napoleon Hill sometime in the future, because I think that would be a lot of fun to break that down. But then we moved into the latter part of the 20th century, and that was when you had things like 12-step groups starting out, a massive positive movement for things like addiction. On the other hand, you also started to get massive commercialization of the self-help and the self-improvement genre. That was when you started seeing things like Tony Robbins' famous infomercials about personal power. By the 21st century, the beginning of the 21st century, including books, audio programs, seminars, coaching, self-help had become a $2.5 billion industry, and it is grown ever since then. The conservative estimate as of 2016 is that self-help is worth about $10 billion a year. And I think that that figure cannot possibly be right, because you also have to take into account things like the fitness industry, you've got counseling and therapy, you've got dating, you've got all these other areas which are technically all in the self-help or self-improvement genre. It would not surprise me if self-help or self-improvement as an industry was actually worth closer to like $250 million a year. A stupid amount of money. And during that time, self-help has gone from being a very, very noble cause of helping poor and middle class people to become the people that they've wanted to be, the people that they deserve to be, and it has become a massive, massive cash grab, with a lot of the times people being hell-bent on separating you from your hard-earned money. And they do this by using a very, very simple formula, which I'm going to share with you right now. So, what is the formula that the self-help gurus use to separate you from your hard-earned Benjamins? Well, it's simply this. Insecurity, which is that feeling of not being good enough, plus a secret solution equals dollar bills, y'all. And here's how it works. You see, there are three areas that the self-help gurus will target, and those three areas are health, wealth, and love. Those are the three overarching subjects that almost every single self-help book is about. Some are about one, some are about all, some are about two, but all of them target one of those three main areas: health, wealth, love. And if you don't believe me, read Russell Brunson's books on modern marketing, so Traffic Secrets, .com Secrets, all of his secrets books. This is what he teaches in those. Now, obviously he's not teaching it so that self-help gurus can go out and scam people, but essentially by writing those books, he created a blueprint that every self-help guru and scammer is now using to separate you from your money. So Russell, if by any chance you are watching this video, big fan, don't sue me. So ultimately all you really have to do is pick an insecurity, create your secret solution, package it, and mark up the price, and that's it. You have yourself a business, and you have become part of that multi-billion dollar per year industry, and it's one of the easiest to get into. If you don't believe me on that, just look at all of the cheap crap ebooks and audiobooks that you can find on Amazon in the self-help genre. It takes roughly about a week to put together what can be an Amazon bestseller, and most of them are absolute garbage. They're just there for cash grabs, and you might think, well, you know, those books are only about $2 or something a piece, but $2 mounts up to a lot when you get something like several thousand people to buy it every single month, and all you have to do is just churn out garbage and more garbage. And there are courses on how to do this as well. I know, because I've taken them and I'm not proud, but I never really did anything with them. I was too insecure at the time, thankfully, otherwise I could be a scammer all this time and you'd never know, probably. So we're now going to have a look at 3 different programs that are being sold in each of the niches that I've spoken about just now, so health, wealth and love, and we're going to have a look at that formula, that insecurity plus secret solution formula, to see exactly how this works in practice. So we've got the first one on screen now, and this one of course fits nicely into the health niche. And straight away we can kind of see exactly what the insecurity is here. We've got the transformation photos, we've got the big red circle, and then just going through and looking through the text as well, you can exactly see what they're going for. This bit here, as she looked through her once youthful eyes, now fenced by fine lines and age spots, and at her stomach and legs now trapped behind inflated layers of fat and embarrassing cellulite. You can see exactly what they're going for in this image here. Young, healthy, skinny and happy at 132 pounds and feeling hopeless, depressed and ready to give up at 208 pounds. So what's the insecurity here? Not thin enough, not healthy enough, not beautiful enough, but don't worry, there is a secret solution, and here is that solution. This 22-hour-a-day fat burning sequence that grows stronger with every passing days. 36 pounds gone in the shortest time possible. And apparently Kylie didn't stop there. Oh no, she didn't. They promised to reveal her full transformation along with the secret flavour pairing ritual that she used to melt away over 80 pounds faster than she ever thought possible, without pills or depriving herself of the latest fad keto calorie counting satisfaction strip diet. And guess what? It's only $37 for the solution. How great is that? Only $37 for the solution to weight loss. But that's it. That is the formula. Insecurity, not thin enough, beautiful enough. The secret solution is this Cinderella solution system for the low price of $37. Of course, now after that there is the upsell, and the upsell is where they'll make the big money. This is where they keep you coming back for more and more, because despite what this says, it will never give you the solution. There'll always be another secret, there'll always be another hack. So with that being said, let's now go and have a look at the program for wealth and see how that works out.
This young man just texted me right now. He took action with my program, which most people don't. He just made his first $1,000. You know what's so funny? Most people that's watching me, no offense, but you're like idiot. Now, if you're watching this video, if you're not making $10,000 per month on autopilot, I don't want to call you an idiot again, but you're not too smart.
Well, that's quite enough of that. And just strictly speaking, I have no problem with Wesley as a person, as always. I'm just using this as a demonstration of how it's done, and expertly done as well. In terms of looking at this from a marketing standpoint, this is pretty much perfection, but he makes sure to hit you with those insecurities fast and hard. If you're not making $10,000 a month, you're an idiot, he says. You're an idiot for not doing this and becoming financially free. All the money, all the cars, but you're just too stupid to go and do it. That is the message of this. But of course you don't have to be an idiot, you don't have to be poor. Apparently there is a system, the overnight millionaire system, and that is of course available for the low price of $34.80. Of course, it's normally £997, and wow, look at that. Alyssa M from Parkland, Florida just purchased the overnight millionaire. That's impressive. Alyssa, I wish you the best of luck, and we'll probably be seeing you on the Forbes list very soon. Jennifer B as well. This is a big day, but once again, that's the system in action. You've got the insecurity, not rich enough, and you're stupid for not being rich enough. That's how it works in the wealth system. And then finally, let's take a look in love as well, and we have this page right here. This is the feminine enchantment system, and of course the insecurity is right here, right at the top. There's a deadly mistake that women are making that are driving men away. But once again, all you have to do is you just have to purchase the product, and that will go away. The secret solution is at your fingertips for the low price of $1. Well, that's Mother's Day sorted out for next year then. Let's move on. But of course it isn't really $1, it's just $1 trial, and then after that it's $67 per month. So that's a subject for another time, I would imagine. But once again, that's just the system. Insecurity plus secret solution equals massive profit every single time. And the thing is, if you just get 500 people to pay you $67 a month, that is $33,500 per month for you, for little to no work. Over the course of a year, that's almost $500,000. So once again, you can see how the system works, and you can also see why it works as well. But do you know what has made this so much easier for self-help gurus over the last couple of decades? It's this thing that you're on right now. It's the internet. The internet is arguably the most amazing advance in technology that we have ever had in the history of humankind. Unfortunately, it's with this amazing tool that self-help has developed into the absolute beast that it is now. And here is how that's done. It's done with two particular things. Number one is speed. You see, back in the day, if you wanted something, you had to have a fair amount of patience. If you ordered something off of a catalogue, you had to send that order out, and then that order had to be fulfilled, and then it had to be sent to you, and the whole process could take weeks. Now, if I want to get, for example, a brand new snowball mic off of Amazon, I get my smartphone out, I go to the Amazon store, and I type in snowball mic, and it's 2 clicks and it's on the way to me. Sometimes it's just 1 click if you're confident enough that your address is on there, not anxious enough that you have to go and check it every single time. And the result of the internet is really that we want fast solutions, and we want them now. And that is something that self-help very much panders to now. You know, you have a big problem in your life, such as the health page that we looked at just now, and then somebody offers you a fast solution. Become a millionaire overnight using these hypnosis tapes, and that is now what self-help is all about. So that was speed. And then the other thing is connection, because again, back in the day, your connections were limited to your local area. Not as many people traveled. Even kind of 50 years ago, not as many people traveled as they do now. You were very much confined by your local area, and to compare yourself to other people, all you had was the Joneses across the street, and then you had things like TV and magazine and radio, but entertainment was different back then. Fast forward to 2020, and again, all I have to do is I just get my smartphone, log on to Instagram, and that's it. I don't have to compare myself to the Joneses across the street anymore, when I can compare myself to every single user on Instagram to see if my life is better or worse than theirs. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, these are all the mediums that we use now to compare ourselves, and this is how the self-help gurus get you, because they want you to compare yourself with others. They want you to think on your own insecurities. They want you to bring that up in yourself. The self-help industry is built on these things, exploiting your insecurities, using the speed of the internet, using your connection to really dig into what those are and then offering you a solution. So you go onto YouTube, you see a Ty Lopez ad, you see his Lamborghini that he won't shut up about. Again, Ty, if you're watching this, big fan, I actually kind of like you as a person, you seem okay. But you know, you see the ad, you see his Lamborghini, and then you look outside and realise, oh, I don't have a Lamborghini, let alone a garage full of exotic cars, and I kind of want that because that seems pretty cool, but I can't have that because I don't have enough money, I'm not rich enough, I'm not wealthy enough. But here you go, here's the solution. Click the link down in the description below and you go to Ty Lopez's 67 steps course, which you then pay £67 for, £1 per step it seems. That's pretty equal and oddly satisfying. Maybe that's another reason why I kind of like Ty Lopez a little bit. He really satisfied me with that nice, relatively divisible figure. Strange people like strange things, I suppose. But that was it. That was the formula in action. Insecurity, I'm not rich enough, plus solution, follow these 67 steps and you will be a millionaire. £67 into his pocket. And you think, again, £67, that's not that much, but if you get 1,000 people doing that every single month, that's almost £1 million business. Just from selling maybe like a 2 or 3 hour talk. I don't know, I've not really seen it. And that's not even the end of it, because once you have purchased or once you are on that email list, you are there until you unsubscribe, which means one thing: upsales, people, upsales. That low price that usually ends in a 7 gets you in at the top of that marketing funnel, and then they are going to drop you down layer by layer by layer by layer, charging you more and more money each time, until eventually you end up shelling out 6, 7, 8 figures to live with Tony Robbins for a year on his private island in Fiji, which, you know, in fairness could be pretty cool. Fiji seems quite nice. But the entire system is designed to separate you from more and more and more of your money the further down the marketing funnel that you go. This isn't a diss on marketing or marketing funnels, because they're a legitimate business tactic, but the way that they're used in the self-help industry is starting to become just a little bit too scummy for my liking. So now what? Now what do we do? Well, the first thing to know is that not everyone in the self-help or the self-improvement industry is out for your money. Yes, it can be a lucrative business to start, but not everyone is in it for the money. Take me for example. Granted, I would love to make a lot of money, and I intend to over the course of my career, but I intend to do that ethically, and I intend to put value first. That's why I make all of my content free on YouTube instead of sticking it behind a paywall. I am in it for the love of helping people, and there's a lot of people that are in it for the love of helping people, but there's a lot more who are in it for the love of money. So just be very, very aware of that, and know that you just don't need self-help to become whatever it is that you want to become. And as promised, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can bypass all the years of investing in self-help and just do this thing instead for free. I'm going to give it to you for free today, right now, when I stop waffling. And that thing is the real formula for self-improvement. It starts with this: know what you want, know what you want to become, know what you want to do in life. Take action, fail, learn from that failure, fail better the next time, and then repeat this process until you are where you want to be. That's it. You just have to know what you want, take the action, fail the first time, learn and get better at it, fail better next time, and do that over and over again, and you will get yourself to where you want to be. That is what I have done to create the life that I have now, where I am more confident, where I am happier, where I am working on building my own business. You don't need self-help. You don't need to spend thousands on books and courses and seminars and coaching, which might sound odd from me, bearing in mind that I would call myself a coach. You don't need to do it. It's a good option to have, and if you want to, you should. Nobody should stop you. But you don't need it. The self-help gurus will tell you that you need this stuff and you just don't. It's a fun option for if you want to take your personal development to a new level, but even then you have to be so careful who you go into this kind of endeavor with. Even if you decided to sign up to do coaching with me, make sure that you research me thoroughly to find out if I'm the kind of person that you want to be dealing with. That sounded kind of threatening, did it? Did it? Didn't. Kind of like a B-Tech New York mafia boss. You guys don't know who you're messing with. Something like that. Kind of nonsense. But anyway, my camera's dying. The conclusion is you don't need self-help. You can go out there, you can do these things on your own, and you should as well. Now, I've barely scratched the surface of the self-help industry in this video, despite the massive length of this video today. So I'm going to be doing more videos like this in the future where I explore the topic of self-help and self-improvement and show you why you don't need it and what you can do instead. Next week I'm tackling dopamine fasts because that's a big thing and it kind of annoys me, so that's my next thing to tackle. So if you're interested in this kind of content, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, make sure you leave a like on this video if you enjoy it, leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos very soon. So I did what any sad, desperate, young adult would do, and I read thousands and thousands of pages of self-help The conservative estimate as of 2016 is that the self-help, and I think that figure cannot possibly be. So, what is the form? Get my smartphone, log on to Instagram. But that was it. That was the charging you progressively more each time until I was looking at the viewfinder that whole time. 8 figures to spend a year with Tony Robbins in an island.